welcome to this week's edition of the Pete Mezzetti Show. I'm your host. This evening's topic is a general overview of Middlesex Hospital and the newly opened Shoreline Medical Center in Westbrook. And with me to discuss this evening's topic is Vin Capice, the President and CEO of Middlesex Hospital. Vin, welcome.
Thank you.
How are you?
Doing well.
Good. So tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, how long you've been with the hospital.
Okay, my name is Vin Capice. I am currently the President and CEO of Middlesex Hospital. I've been in my current role for a little over 3 years now, about 3.5 years, and I've been with the hospital about 16 years. Okay. I actually came to Middlesex Hospital back in 1998 as the Chief Financial Officer. So my background is in finance. I actually began my career in public accounting. I never thought I'd work for a hospital, much less be the CEO.
Exactly.
And it was kind of a circuitous route to the position I have now. But once I got involved with healthcare, I kind of grabbed at me and been in it ever since. And have enjoyed every minute of being part of hospitals and part of healthcare.
So tell us a little bit about obviously the Middlesex, the Shoreline Medical Center recently opened as of
today.
I was going to say that this morning. This is being taped on April 28th. So the first patient was seen this morning.
Yeah, actually 6:46. I think we officially opened at 7 a.m. this morning, and I was told a patient showed up with chest pains at 6:45 this morning.
Oh,
so
no.
It was good that we were there.
There you go.
And patient's doing well. So
okay, good.
That was our first patient.
Good. That's always a nice thing. So can you give us a little history and background of Middlesex Hospital?
Well, Middlesex Hospital's been around for over 100 years, serving the greater Middlesex County communities.
All right.
And the Shoreline is a big part of that. And we've actually been on the Shoreline, serving the Shoreline communities for over 40 years. And Middlesex Hospital is an acute care hospital, a general hospital, providing a wide range of inpatient and outpatient services. And one of the things that's, I think, unique about Middlesex is that the way we're structured, we have facilities that are close to where the people are that we're serving. If you look at the geographics of our service area,
okay.
Middlesex County or greater Middlesex County is a fairly large area, and the population centers tend to be down along the shoreline, right. In and around Middletown. And then we have a growing population in an area called east of the river, which is kind of in the Marlborough, Colchester area.
Yep, sure.
And so long before I came to the hospital, some people who were much smarter than me decided that we should have facilities dispersed throughout our service area. And so we have a facility in Marlborough, which is an emergency department facility, as well as a whole host of diagnostics. Okay. We have the main campus of the hospital in Middletown. And then we have a facility right now in Westbrook, which
right.
used to be in Essex.
That's right.
Which again is an emergency, 24-hour day, 7-day-a-week emergency facility with a whole bunch of diagnostic facilities, services around that. It's a brand new facility, just opened today.
It did just open, and I was actually there at your open house, and it's absolutely beautiful. It's
thank you.
Very, very nice, and hopefully, like you just said, it's there if you need it, but hopefully nobody ever wants to show up.
Right. It's a place you don't want to be if you don't have to be
exactly.
there, but it's nice to know it's there.
Exactly. It was pretty
nice to take a tour through.
It was. I did that on Saturday and met your PR person, who I've been going back and forth with to coordinate this event. So, and I guess my next question is how long has the medical center in Essex been in existence?
Well, it opened in the early 70s. I'm not exactly sure what the exact year was, but early 70s. We've been there over 40 years. Okay. And we actually started in Westbrook. We had a small facility in lease space in the center of Westbrook. I'm sorry, in Centerbrook.
Centerbrook, okay.
Not Westbrook, Centerbrook. Okay. And quickly outgrew that space, and we looked at that time in the 70s to build a facility, a larger facility, and a very generous family donated the land that our facility in Essex is currently on, and that's why we decided to build the facility in Essex on Route 153, where it is right now. I think if we had to do it all over again way back then, a much better spot would have been where we built our new facility. But when somebody gives you land to build a facility,
you're not going to say no.
You can't say no. But our new facility is much more visible and accessible, and we think it's going to be much better for serving the shoreline communities than our current facility.
Now, what are they going to do with the old facility that's up 150?
Right, which is not, it's only maybe half a mile away,
It's not
a mile
that far
away
up.
from the existing facility. We're going to continue to use it for healthcare services. We have a number of services that are currently in lease space right down the road from that facility, and we'll be moving those services into that new facility, that older facility, probably sometime early next year. Don't have a specific time frame on that yet, but we'll be using it. That's the whole point, to consolidate some of the things that we have in lease space right now to save us some money, and we'll also be looking for other opportunities to expand services down there.
Exactly. How many doctors, nurses, how many staff do you have?
We have approximately, working in in the hospital in total, for all sites, we have over 3,000 employees.
Wow.
About 200 or so work in our shoreline medical facility.
Okay. I mean, wow, it's pretty good sized hospital.
Yeah, we're one of the largest employers in Middlesex County.
Now, you mentioned when you told us a little bit about the hospital, you guys are an acute hospital?
Acute care hospital, yes.
What is that? What is an acute care hospital?
Well, as opposed to a long-term care facility or an urgent care center, an acute hospital basically is taking care of the sickest patients in our community. You know, we're not a tertiary care hospital, so people that need heart transplants and very high-level services would be transferred to a higher facility that provides a higher level of care. But with technology the way it is these days, we provide somewhere between 90 and 95% of the services, the healthcare services that most people need from a general acute care perspective. So we do a wide array of, we provide a wide array of surgical services, medical services, whole inpatient and outpatient services. And in fact, because of the way we're structured, one of the things that has developed over time is the growth of our outpatient services, because we have these facilities that are close to the population centers, and it's allowed our outpatient services to grow significantly over time to the point where we currently provide somewhere around 100,000 emergency department visits to the communities we serve on an annual basis, which, depending on the year, puts us in the top 1, 2, 3 in the state. So we're doing just as many emergency visits as the largest hospitals in the state. And
what types of services does the medical center in Essex currently, the facility in Essex currently offer its patients?
Sure. The medical center in Essex, well, which is now in
Westbrook,
provides, we have, when you look at the facility, it actually is separated into two different parts. On one side of the facility, we offer 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week emergency services. Full-fledged emergency department that has ambulances that service that for people that need to be brought there, and full-fledged emergency, requiring full-fledged emergency services. And then people can also drive up for less emergent type issues. And then on the other side of the facility, we have a whole host of diagnostic services, lab and radiology. We have a CAT scanner. We have a fixed MRI. So we're state-of-the-art technology with respect to radiology services and lab services. We also have a very nice women's imaging center. It's almost like a spa when you go in there. That's providing needs for women, radiological needs for women. So mammography, ultrasound, bone density testing, and so it provides a little bit of extra privacy and some extra amenities for women that require those services.
I was going to say it is nice. Peg actually walked me around for the open house, and we walked in and we were able to walk around, and she explained everything. Mm-hmm. You're right. It's like a spa.
It is.
It is. It's like a spa. It's very nicely laid out and everything. Mm-hmm. And I even saw you guys have the helicopter pad.
Yep.
Just in case.
So Lifestar.
Just in case Lifestar has to land.
Right. In case someone needs to be transferred to another facility, or a patient needs to be transferred in from, an accident. They can be transferred in.
I was going to say you've only been open about less than 12 hours. Hopefully Lifestar hasn't landed yet.
Right.
Hopefully.
Right. At least not on official business.
Exactly. Exactly. And now all the people that are working at the old facility in Essex, did they move over to?
Yes. Everybody moved over.
Everybody moved over.
So right now the facility in Essex is empty.
Okay.
And is being rehabbed for the services.
For what you guys are going to be doing for it
Right.
in the not near distant future.
And the old facility in Essex was about 20,000 square feet. When we built the new facility, we recognized that we needed some significant additional space. So the new facility on the ground floor is 40,000 square feet. So we doubled the size. And then we built an additional 20,000 square feet on the second floor to provide for future expansion. And that space, as we were talking about earlier, is just beautiful space because it has some beautiful windows that overlook the highway, I-95, and whatever we put up there is just going to have some stunning views, and it brings in lots of light. And the architecture of the building also utilizes light. There are
It does.
Big windows.
It is.
all over the
It's
place.
absolutely beautiful. I didn't have a chance to go upstairs on the tour, but I did see that there was an upstairs part of the building, and hopefully, I'm sure, once that opens, that people are just going to see light all over the place, and it's going to look really, really cool. Speaking of looking really cool, we're actually about to roll into the break, but instead of my normal public service announcement, what our viewers at home are going to see is they're going to see a little bit of a video presentation about the background of the medical center that has recently opened.
Great.
So if we can go to break and roll that, please. Welcome back to this week's edition of the Pete Mezzetti Show. I'm sitting here with Vin Capiz from Middlesex Hospital. Vin, welcome back.
Good to be back.
Thank you. Thanks for sticking around. I guess that we talked about the first segment of a little bit about the new facility that opened. So what were the various steps involved in determining the location of the new medical center?
Well, that was one of our, a couple of the key goals that we had in mind in finding a new location was to find a location that would be easily accessible, but also be visible at the same time.
Okay.
Because we're serving a fair number of towns along the shoreline, and we wanted to make sure that the drive times to our new facility would be minimized as much as possible.
Okay.
And so we worked with a consultant to help us identify, the best possible location, and we narrowed it down to 2 locations, with the location that we finalized with today,
okay,
as being the best location. There was one other location that we considered, but after further analysis, we determined that where we're located right now would provide the best visibility, certainly because it's right on 995, and the largest stretch of drive times, minimizing drive times for the largest stretch of communities along the shoreline.
Now, who's responsible for the design of the new building?
A company called the SLAM Collaborative,
okay,
and it's a company, an architectural firm that we've done a fair amount of business with. They helped design our emergency department that we have at our main campus, which we built several years ago.
okay,
and they have also been involved in a number of various other projects, building projects throughout the hospital over the years. So we have a good relationship with them, and they do great work.
They do. Just by the design of the building, they do phenomenal work. It's very nice. It is. And how long did construction take on the building?
It took around about 2 years to construct, from beginning to end, from sticking a shovel in the ground to having the ribbon cutting and opening the facility. So it was a fair amount of time, but things went very smoothly. The town of Westbrook was very easy to deal with, and Noel Bishop in particular, first selectman, really helped forge the way for us, and we didn't really have any problems at all dealing with the local community, the zoning board. Everything went fairly well.
Everything went pretty smoothly?
Yeah.
Everything went...
I wish all our projects went this smoothly.
Yeah, I know, I know. So will there be any new services or amenities offered at the Westbrook location?
Currently, we have just transferred the services that were in existing space in Essex into Westbrook. The amenities, the aesthetics of the building are much nicer than what we had. The space is much larger. Again, accessibility and visibility is much better. So we think that we're going to be able to better serve the patients from the shoreline with this new facility. In addition, we've upgraded the technology as well. So we have, state-of-the-art radiology technology, state-of-the-art lab technology. The emergency department has state-of-the-art equipment and facilities. So we're providing the same services, but at a much higher level.
I was going to say, obviously, all your lab work is done in-house. You don't have to send anything. Right. Usually the turnaround time, if you have to have blood work or any type of lab work done, it's usually pretty quickly turnaround time to get the information back to your doctor.
Yes, very quick.
And that's
and the other thing that we have is all of the physicians in our health system, as well as all of the facilities, are all tied into an electronic health record. So we can access information. So if somebody comes into the Shoreline Medical Center, our doctors there can see, if they have a physician in our health system, they can see the information from their physician, as well as the physicians in our health system. If a patient goes into a physician's office, can see what happened in the emergency department, or what happened if they had, what types of tests they've had. If they have had a radiology test or a lab test, they can get the results, at their fingertips.
Really?
And it's something that we've had for a long time, actually for the past 20 years, and we've just been building upon that database and building upon that technology to the point where we've created a very easily usable database of clinical information that is accessible from all points within the health system.
I was going to say, that's pretty neat that you can basically share all that information with the other doctors in the system, so you have exactly an idea of what's going on.
Right. And I think over the years, that's allowed the providers in our health system to make better healthcare decisions about in dealing with their patients, and also to be more efficient in the delivery of care, which is something that there's a lot of focus on now, but 15 years ago, that wasn't really a focus. But it's part of the DNA of the Middlesex health system that we're always looking to provide, the highest level quality of care that we can in the most efficient way. So we're trying to move care to the lowest cost setting wherever possible. We're trying to, reduce the duplication of tests wherever that's possible, and to deliver, high quality, low cost care.
Exactly.
Which is what's in vogue today.
Exactly. It's like, exactly. And you guys, like I said, your campus up in Middletown is a lot bigger than the campus down here in Westbrook, but obviously you guys are able to share information back and forth with each other if need be. And obviously, that's a good thing if somebody walks in here and has to have doctors or up there take a look at all their test records. That's
right.
Makes things a lot
well,
easier.
And if someone comes to the emergency department, as an example, to our new facility in Westbrook, and they need to be admitted to the hospital, I mean, it creates a seamless transition from the emergency department to our main campus in Middletown. We have ambulances that transfer patients up to Middletown if that's necessary, and all of the tests, all of the whatever procedures might be done, all that data is available to the doctors, whether they're at the main campus, whether they're in their office, whether they're at the emergency center. They can see all of that information.
I was going to ask, how many doctors do you guys affiliate with?
Well, we have about 350 physicians on our medical staff.
Okay.
And they span all different specialties, a wide range of specialties, medical specialties, surgical specialties. And it's, our medical staff has been growing over the years, and we're constantly looking to plan for people that are retiring, people that are leaving the community, as well as planning for adding new specialties, adding new services wherever that's needed in the community. We're constantly looking at the health needs of the communities we serve and trying to make sure that we're providing the services that our communities need.
Now, what makes you guys, I guess, unique from all the other hospitals in the state?
Well, I think we like to think of ourselves as the smarter choice for care. That's our tagline.
I've heard that somewhere.
That's our brand. And we believe that Middlesex Hospital delivers the highest quality care that's available today with a personal touch. And we've been known for the human touch that our nurses and caregivers and other clinicians provide. We were the first hospital in the state to earn the Magnet designation for nursing, which is a designation of excellence in nursing care, and it requires a significant amount of effort. You have to fill out a significant application and then a site visit, and only about 1% of the hospitals in the country have actually achieved that designation. And we're actually going for our third or fourth recredentialing of that designation. We'll be the only hospital in the state to have achieved that. And actually one of a small number of hospitals actually in the world that have achieved that level of reaccreditation.
Really?
In addition, we've been a top 100 hospital a number of times, as determined by a number of different entities that rate hospitals. If you go to healthgrades.com, we're rated highly for many of the services we offer. And so I think we've distinguished ourselves in a number of different ways, but the thing that we focus on is, there are three things that we've kind of distilled our mission down to, and that's providing the safest care possible. We're actually rated as being one of the safest hospital in the state several times by Consumer Reports, and one of the safest hospitals in the country. In fact, we had the same rating as the Mayo Clinic in a recent rating that Consumer Reports had done. We're also focused on the quality of care, so we're constantly measuring a whole host of metrics around the quality of care that's provided. And the last thing is, we're focused on ensuring that the patient's experience is the best possible. So safety, quality, and patient experience, which are the three things that make up our mission. And one of the things we've focused on is making sure that all of our employees are focused on that and understand that.
Of course, and I'm sure you as CEO of the hospital walk around the hospital on on a fairly regular basis
Yeah,
and
pretty much daily.
just stop in and
I
say hello
visit
to everybody?
I visit patients very frequently, almost on a daily basis, and always ask them, how's your care been?
Right.
How are we taking care of you? What are some things that we can improve upon? We know that, while we're doing a good job, we can always do better.
Right.
And we're constantly focused on trying to make the patient's experience as good as it possibly can be.
Exactly. And I guess one of the before we say goodnight in a couple minutes or so, one of the other questions I've got to ask you, which we haven't talked about yet. Has the new facility opened yet?
Actually, it opened today.
It did. It opened this morning.
Yep.
It opened this morning, and any idea how things have been going so far?
I stopped over there before I came over here.
Okay.
And they had a very busy day today, but
That's a good thing.
That's a good thing. So obviously, the word was received. Our communications were received by the community, and people knew where we were and knew that we were opening today. And as far as I can tell, there were no major glitches. I think there were a few bumps in the road that you can expect when you're opening a new facility, but nothing major. And so far, so good. Things have gone fairly smoothly. But that is the result of a lot of work by a lot of people. And one of the things that I think, I'm very proud of is that the whole process of designing the facility and planning for the move heavily involved the users, the employees in the various departments that provide the services. And I think that's what resulted in the smooth transition that we've had.
Well, Vin Capiz from Middlesex Hospital, thanks for coming down.
Thank you.
Hopefully we'll have you on again.
Okay.
All
Sounds
right.
good.
On behalf of Vin Capiz, I'm Peter Mezzetti. Thanks, good night, and we'll see you next week.